you guys up to? It is Zerlath, and I am on my way to work. This morning I was listening to Forbidden Knowledge News, which had a panel that included Typical Skeptic and Frankie Fearless, Frank Castle. Shout out to those guys. I don't know the other panelist or so. I just discovered them from listening to the discussion they had, and I've been listening to a handful of these things, and then of course this one was incredible, especially because listening to how Frank talks about his experiences, these things, and awesome if he has those experiences, because I know that brings things in, right? Me, I've had my dream times. I don't have as much as that anymore. I have not had a mall dream personally, but I have had my other kinds of dreams, most particularly in that 2012 area. And really, honestly, up through about 2013, maybe 2014, I had a lot of wild dreams. I've talked about a few of them. I think I have dream reports here on the channel. Some of them, like some of my original dream reports were lost from the prior YouTube channel that that they canceled. And then there's even reports earlier than that that I committed digital seppuku. But I'm always happy to talk about everything that I remember. And so my dreams, my common theme that would pop up as far as setting wise is concerned is I would have high school common areas, typically the hallways. Sometimes they would be of liminal size. Like once I was in this high school style hallway, almost more like, sometimes it's more like an office building, and it was of a certain size that didn't make sense, and then I would show up and I walked into this one opening area, and just bang, the planet Venus is just right there. Just, imagine the planet Venus the size of a fucking, house, right? So huge, but not of that size, right? Not of the size, at least, for all I know, that's the size of Venus because of the theory that everything's much more localized in a certain respect than we think, which is only a half-truth. Just like the way certain things of our liminal experience here in the realm creates a flat Earth phenomenon as well as a globe Earth phenomenon. And there might even be one or two other kinds of phenomenons. And you laugh at the flat Earth phenomenon, I'm sure, but you haven't quite looked at a few things that ultimately do not make sense in how we perceive things, while also at the same time there are things that completely disprove the flat Earth. And it's just like, how can this disprove the round Earth and this disprove the flat Earth at the in our same fucking ontological experience, right? And so, hey, how's it going? Who we got? What are you saying? Uncle? What? Anyway, I'm assuming the people can hear me. Hang on a second. I must merge, and there's a big truck behind me. There we go. So, the way this mall world is being described, this liminal mall space in the dream veil of reality, it's obviously an interdimensional transit hub. So I think that it's experientially wild for a bunch of us that are meant to have these dreams and who had certain feelings about our relationship with the mall. And as we know, malls seem to be dying. It doesn't seem like anybody in the echelons of their system know what to do with malls because consumerism is dying, right? And because when I go to the mall now, typically when a store goes under, it gets replaced with a cheap thrift store of some sort. Like, you should see the Stamford fucking mall. They're all like this now, right? They're almost entirely empty all the time. Like, high schoolers don't want to go there. I guess, moms are not going shopping with the kids or whatever. Like, and they have next to nothing to offer anymore because we don't make enticing products that get delivered that way. And it's just like I go to the store looking for shit, and I think that there's something pretty basic that I ought to find there, even though it's kind of basic but yet unique to me. But I'm just like, they should have something like that there, and it's not there, right? Whether it be a particular style of pants in my size, whether it be a proper kind of accessory for my electronics that I need, or whatever. It's just that, it's like before these malls collapsed, there was a period of time where they were pushing products that all were the same on you. Part of that sameness phenomenon in the postmodernism that has occurred was creeping up on us for quite a few years. And then, of course, when COVID happened, you were forced not to go to the mall. And everything was such an awful experience for the human condition, for the human soul, through 2020, 2021, especially if you were compliant. Oh God, especially if you were compliant. Because if you were compliant, honestly, I think people went through the 2 primary years of the pandemic. I think in their mind that clocked through in a month. It's the only thing that explains the amnesia, is that their time compression, they just fucking slept for 2 years. And so they just disregard it because it was such an abnormality. Like, you go back and you try to have a conversation about life during that period of time. There was no conversation for you about life. You were compliant. There's nothing to fucking talk about. It's just like, yeah, I did the same thing. That's it. You just there's nothing more to say other than their shared exact same experience that meant nothing. Right? So there was a psychic charge that from consumerism, not everything in it bad, depending on what the consumer's doing in their mind, their intentions, their will, their care, when they are out in the world shopping, right? And then going online became awful because the way everything got fucked logistically because of the population and everything else. And, I had to suspend I had to cancel my Amazon Prime subscription during this winter time because I haven't been working, and I'll eventually put that back up for whatever. But like, it's just like you're not getting a great deal on shipping anymore on Amazon, and you're not fucking getting that fucking delivery turnover on Amazon that there was, right? I wasn't even aware that that so much of their shit was not in this realm of such fast delivery anymore. And once I realized that, I said, I've just been noticing none of this delivery stuff that Amazon used to have that I could even enjoy when I wasn't a Prime member per se. It's not there anymore. Things are clocking in at the snail's pace that you're used to with transit shipping and stuff for ordered products. So it's not as sweet of a deal as it used to be. The world isn't conducive of such a ability to deliver. So there was a psychic charge in these malls that was coming from all of that. You don't notice the kind of creepy liminality of the design of these malls just because you're looking at all the stuff in the mall and you are kind of in the vibe check with everybody else in the mall per se, right? And everything is cool and everything is free. Not the products are free, but I mean, like, you're freely roaming about, yada yada yada. And just don't go down the corridors for the back areas of all the stores, because that's personnel area, employee area, stuff like that. Their shipping and receiving zones, their back offices. That's none of your business, and and whatever, and that's everywhere. But now that they're vacated, there's something about it that operates as the overlay in the absence of it, right? Like, I got the high school hallways thematically, and those high school hallways situation, that was just as recent as a few years ago. Because like I said, 2013, 2014, most of my intense dreaming stopped. It lessened. But it's still there. It's more peppered in. I think I started making new kinds of personal choices. I'm not sure yet, because I didn't start getting more into the physical, into the body per se, until like 2022, really. Late 21, 22. As, like, maybe everybody else needs to fucking go into the spirit. I've been in the spirit. I'm not abandoning the spirit, but, now it's time to integrate it into the physical, because motherfucker, I got a physical component I am missing that is making my experience here fucking miserable. Very few people can articulate why they went into a fitness journey that way. But me, I'm wild like that. How's it going here? Who are you? Man, I can't see shit. It's too dark. I could probably boost the brightness. Let's boost the brightness. There we go. Does that say Ellen Productions? Wish I could read that better. I've got this distance here, and it's dark, and driving, and everything else. So anyway, welcome to my channel. So, I didn't just encounter Venus, in which I had a psychic correspondence with Venus. The planet had to talk to me about something. I don't remember what the hell it was, right? You know, I don't even think I remembered what it was when I woke up for it, only that I had, right? You know, I had experienced some kind of download from. But also, this is where I've talked about how I've got that association with Anubis. And I encountered Anubis at a what looked like either the double doors to outside or the double doors to the cafeteria or something in one of these hallways. And I had pulled a bad move in that the deity didn't like, and he sicked the dog on me, and that woke me up, and it taught me a lesson about how I need to be equal to the gods, right? Not equal to the gods, you know, that sounds arrogant as fuck, but to be on, you know, like, you don't bow before us. You've never bowed before us. Your bowing and your kneeling have those mean something different. There are different times where it is appropriate for you to be to do it, because you're not. It's not there for a certain kind of submission, unless I suppose you're submitting to yourself. And so the mall was this communal place that did this thing, right? Now, people didn't start talking about these mall dreams until more recently, and I think that it was at the time of the alleged alien demon mall encounter. We all remember that crazy fucking story that became like a huge thing because there was all this panic, and then there was this strange ethereal looking creature that was caught on one camera, and it kind of looked fake, but it also looked like a fake that, how do you fake a fake like that, right? To the point where it's only fake because you want to dismiss it, right? And so I think that was some psychic bleed. I think people were. I think around that time is when something opened the portal in these malls, and so there's a subconscious program trying to call you back to the mall. Because if they can put you back to the mall, they can put you back in the frequency for the harvest. They put you back in the frequency for the harvest, then they can reestablish their DNA supply chain. Because how you are influenced by your unconscious relationship with the mall will lure you into their traps, hooks, and snares for DNA harvest and extraction, which is critical for them. It's not just about their breeding program. It's also about their soul incarnation portaling, right? Most of these beings, they need a genetically chimerized, bipedal entity, humanoid bipedal sentient entity. Probably has to be one of the five-finger beings, if you understand a thing or two about some of the Native American lore and the holy people and such. That you get these genetic locks, and these are gene keys and then these gene keys unlock the door. So a mother and a father who have linked, they have a child, and then their child is a vessel for them, or at the very least a fluid channel for them. Whether it requires an MK Ultra trauma response to unlock within that person or not to bring the entity through. And don't start bringing up Stranger Things past season 2 with me. I've only watched the first 2 seasons of Stranger Things. I could see where the show is going, and I'm not surprised about how I heard that they ended it. Because I knew that it was already going to be doing something that I was not going to be interested in, which was to kind of, you're telling, like, you start telling a bigger story in an absurder way, and then you dress it with your 80s nostalgia thing, and then you just ignore a few things, and then at the end of the day it becomes a mediocre show, but has a lot of interesting concepts to talk about, a few interesting adventures or action scenes or whatever, some halfway decent acting, but you'll get lost in the sauce of the lore and think that the show is good because of the lore and a few basic competent production points and whatever. Because like people that sell it, like I've never had somebody sell season 3. I mean, I kind of want to watch whichever season had the whole, like, let's play heavy metal in the Upside Down to defeat the demons. That looked, that looked like fine. Let me go watch that. And like I've watched like the clip. Might be kind of cool to watch the episode. But I don't care. I just don't care for it, right? It's just like you needed Stranger Things to wake up. I didn't. I'm 40. I'm gonna be 46 years old this fucking year. I'm a millennial ex-cusp, and I have had quite the fucking experience of my own in a very low-key manner. Extraordinarily low-key manner. Nothing big dealish about it. As far as in my lived life is concerned. But I think that it might have been that way because I set myself up for failure in their world. You get that? You get that idea? So because you're going through what you're going through, you've got your dense fucking boomer parents who don't understand you. You don't know that you're different than other human beings because you're choosing to be aware and choosing to avoid things, and you don't know why. And part of it is simple because of child psychology. It's your aversion to pain, discomfort, and fear as a child. Your aversion to all of that because you're a baby. You're in a helpless state. It's, there's all sorts of people around you. You're at their mercy. Right? And everybody understands aspects of horror show. Naturally. Because all you have to do, if you never believed anybody about SRA who could have fucking proved it to you. Listen, here's the thing about the Epstein fucking files. That's why I'm not fucking shocked. If you were fucking paying attention, like I was, it would have been proven to you by then. But you needed the Babylonian-controlled government to affirm it for you. That's why I'm not shocked and why I immediately have figured out way more of what's going on from just the bits and pieces I've gleaned over so far, knowing about the cult of Baal Lilith already and everything else. And like a lot of people now know about it and knew about it before these file releases, because people were getting primed for it as the new generation, like me, that was repeating what the prior generation was telling me, right? This, Manly P. Hall warned you, Jordan Maxwell warned you, Rudolf Steiner warned you, Bill Cooper warned you. But you were born into a world of pleasing all sorts of other people. And it just, it's been fucking painful, right? And so I ultimately said, no, you're lying to me. My pain, my fear is valid. On something that was deeper. I hated being in school. I kind of hated my parents, or at least I thought they hated me. Right? Imagine thinking your parents hate you. Right? Because I'm the eclectic, the strange child, the gifted one, and all that nonsense. But at the same time, I'm just a kid in his imagination, and it's not like I was sitting there recounting my past life. Yeah, man. It's going fucking 40. I don't have time for your shit. Oops. So these people have been, but like my father was short-tempered. Definitely did not spare the rod. And I'm kind of sitting there. I'm pretty much like I'm pretty much in the possession of Fenris as a survival mechanism. I'm just being a temper tantrum child. Because, it's just like, it's the daddy projection issues, right? Everybody's hatred of Trump is a daddy protection issue. They're having temper tantrums against the stern father figure. And the infantilism of the whole matter. And the obedient state that they want people in when everybody's talking about their collective mall experience. That's part of the infantilism because of your subjected and submissive state that was programmed into you from childbirth, because all of us have been denied our birthright. All of us have to deal with these things problematically. And there's a lot that I can think about with this bullshit. So, your mall experience is kind of like your COVID grocery store experience. You have to go this way and don't get out of line. And that was human beings enforcing the Draconian Empire. And you would have had this experience if you were going to malls when malls were reopened. And so a lot of people are just processing that. And then there's a lot of the intuitives, a lot of the psychics who are also processing that. And, you know, those of you that are switched on, like the people on that Forbidden News podcast that I watched this morning, you know, they're doing the healing work, they're doing the repair work, they're doing the investigatory work, they're doing the work that the literal sheeple can't do, that maybe in these fucking dreams. Going through it and then just writing it off as just another night. Like, people will talk about their fucking dreams. I mean, granted, people, like, I don't talk about my fucking dreams either, unless I know I have an audience for it, right? And I'm somebody who will fight back at anybody who wants to fucking talk down to me when I want to fucking share the woo like that. You know, I will fucking bite your fucking head off. You fucking respect me as I have been respectful. Or otherwise, if you're gonna throw the respect away, that's fine. It's on and for the fucking record in my fucking heart. I will bite your fucking head off. Like venom. So, this is, if you know the story of Stardust Ranch, it reminds me a bit of Stardust Ranch. If you've read Bruce McDonald's book about Stardust Ranch, check out Bruce McDonald's Stardust Ranch, which is the John Edmonds story. Stardust Ranch is or was an interdimensional portal also, and it had time travelers came through, aliens came through, demons and angels came, literally everything under the sun that was experientially happening. Almost ever, like, not like something of the nature of every kind of paranormal Fortean cryptidly thing was in and out over the many years at Stardust Ranch. And John Edmonds had to figure out how to deal with all of that. Which is part of the reason why he got involved with Bruce and why he got involved with the disgraced galactic historian, former galactic historian. I don't even call him fucking former. He can call himself the galactic historian. I won't anymore. He used to be. But Andrew Bartzis, who may have psychically killed John Edmonds, understand this. You listen to Bruce McDonald, you'll understand why. And if you're in the Woo universe, that will make perfect sense to you. And Andrew tried to fuck me up. But the same spirit in me that told me no. Sabotage this for your whole fucking life. That same fucking spirit, you know, that kept me having temper tantrums with everybody under the fucking sun, which was nothing like this, because that wasn't our relationship. I wanted to be his friend. I wanted to be part of the fucking fight, and I thought that he was a part of the fucking fight. As you can see how I've been in this fight. And you would think by now things would have been different with that guy. But anyway, long story short is, I mean, that's if I'm wrong about him being the disgraced former galactic historian. So, but I don't think that these portals or these malls work the same because there wasn't anything creating that kind of charge for Stardust Ranch as these malls. A different manner of something is doing it with the malls. It might be partially in the infrastructure of the mall, because especially when you're being zoned in on it like that. But I will also tell you this much: if you as a conscious being, with your nervous system on fire, fully activated, you know, I feel bigger than I've ever been, right? I've never gotten taller. In fact, thanks to the chiropractor, I've actually theoretically gotten shorter because I was always this height, but my hips needed to be cracked back into place. But, you know, I just like I'll hold something in my hands and it's just like, well, why do you know, like I feel like 2 years ago, this, you know, pencils like this were bigger. No, pencils seem to be the same exact size. I seem to be the same exact size. Why does this pencil feel like it's smaller in my hands? My hands haven't gotten bigger. They're just like they're. This is that kind of experience in my waking life, feeling like everything is smaller than me in that respect, is a very liminal experience. So anyway, my GPS is not working on the system here, and I'm still in need of being certain of where I am going. So I'm going to catch you guys later. Thanks so much for tuning in. I think I got out everything about these liminal malls that I really needed to. And maybe I'll talk about it again later. I should really gather some more thoughts on it. But you know, it's a drive stream of consciousness. I'll catch you guys later.